Hang on. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh, we are live. All right. I guess.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I got a notification.
Yeah,
I
we're
did
going
too.
live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with K-Pro and Cow and Dan and Joel.
The Minnesotan.
So, what do we want to talk about tonight, guys? Let's just do a free-for-all type thing.
Well, why don't we first introduce, for the people that have never heard of this hunt, they just don't even know why they've stumbled upon this channel, who we are, right, Michael? We kind of skipped that.
Yeah, so I'm Mike, aka Cowlazars, aka Cowlazars. And I have this little YouTube channel called Cowlazars, and we do it on treasure hunts, or grand adventures, as I like to call them. And the biggest one of all, the big roller coaster in the treasure hunting amusement park is, of course, Forrest Fenn's Thrill of the Chase. So we like to come on and we discuss things and discuss treasure hunts and discuss Forrest Fenn. And sometimes we have guests on. So K-Pro is my partner in all things. Take it away.
Hi, I'm Christy, K-Pro, and yeah, I'm hanging out here, and I own a forum called Hint of Riches. I don't know if you know, Mike actually posted on it today. I fell over, had a heart attack. I'm back. It's okay. And so that's what I do, and I sometimes talk with these other guys about Forrest Fenn and finding this treasure. So over to our Minnesotans.
Who's first?
Who's for Joel Lewicki? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Joel.
So yeah, I'm Joel. I have been in the search for 2.5 years. Been out boots on the ground too many times, and yet not enough. And I am here tonight to say a protracted and unwanted goodbye to everybody. That's why I'm here.
Oh, we're so going to talk about that because you can check it anytime you like, but you can never leave. Hotel California.
And then we got Copper Dan.
All right, I'm Dan, also known as AKA Copper Dan, as K-Pro says. I am also from Minnesota. I live about 300 miles south of Joel. Okay. And I know a little about where Joel searches. I've been out there searching too. Recently this summer, boots on the ground twice.
And before we jump into kind of tonight's show, I would be remiss if I do not mention that tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary for the Jamie Jordan drawing and her husband Bill. So that's how I met K-Pro. That's how I met Copper Dan. That's how I met Forrest. That's how I met so many searchers. So I just wanted to say, wow, 1 year, huh? Isn't that crazy? And yeah, so it was yesterday. It was 1 year ago. I met K-Pro, and then Copper Dan, I think, was today. Wasn't that video I put up drunk at the corn, at the Blue Corn, might have been today. And yeah, what have we done in a year? So I don't know if you guys want to give your thoughts, but yeah, it was pretty awesome how the community came together and we helped out, one of our own.
Well, one of the coolest things is, I don't think Jamie will probably be in here because she doesn't usually come in. We did this fundraiser because Jamie and her husband Bill, and Jamie's just loved by everybody. She's kind of a well-known searcher. I didn't know her, but I knew her on the blogs and stuff. She lost her home and business, and we raised just under $60,000, and she was able to get a new home, and she was rebuilt. And she was posting about, wow, my life's changed in a year. And I thought, she's like at a whole different level. I feel like my life's changed in a year, but nothing like hers. So it's interesting how something so negative and traumatic became such a positive for the community. And yeah, we've had a couple of down days, but we're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all the positive. This is where I met Copper Dan, and he's our superhero searcher. So, and Mike, and Mike.
Yeah, so many people.
Where did we meet? Where did we actually see each other for the first time? This is funny.
We met in Forrest Fenn's den when you walked in and said hi, Forrest, and totally ignored me and walked right by and sat down on the couch. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I said, hey, I'm Mike. And you're like, yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, you were already involved. And I was like, hey, guys, you already started without me because Forrest had driven you from the bookstore to his home.
Because I ran into him on accident, actually. That is how it went down.
That's funny.
Yeah, we'll tell that whole story another night. Mike, your volume is low.
I moved it back up, so it should be a little bit better. I did move it up.
A little loud for me, but that's fine.
I moved mine down.
Okay.
Okay. So I think now we need to focus on the serious discussions that we have. So this is the time of year where searchers are coming back. They've done their last boots on the ground. They either come back and they say, I went there and it wasn't there, but it used to be there. And now I'm going to write a book and people are going to buy my book. And I'm going to say,
Like
Forrest
anyone
Fenn,
would ever say that.
like anyone would ever say that, or write a book, and people buy that book for $5.99 on Amazon. So the second is, this is all a hoax. And the third is, what is the third, Joel? What is your story?
What? I
What is
wasn't
your
paying
story?
attention. I was trying to change my volume because Tony said I was quiet.
Okay, so you went boots on the ground. You've come back, and now you're. Are you leaving us for a short time, a long time, forever? Do you have the treasure box? Is that why you are now
I'm
leaving?
going to be quiet for 30 days.
Yeah, right. Nice. And then we never heard from him again. You're not done. You're just taking a break.
That's what my wife tells me. She's like, yeah, right. There's no way.
And your daughter has a really beautiful bracelet on. Is that what's happening here? So you've come back. Why are you taking a break? What is the reason for your break?
I just have too much going on. Once school starts back up and all of life's, multifaceted draws on your time get stacked up, and I just don't have a lot of time to be pouring over, search materials and watching YouTube videos and scouring.
Except for ours, right?
Except for yours.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, and all that time you spend like almost every day corresponding with Forrest for hours, and so that takes a lot.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, a lot of that, all of our Instagram and I don't even know what other things people use to communicate.
Snapchat. You and Forrest on Snapchat. Yeah.
I was gonna make some joke about how Forrest and I still are going to Snapchat, but no.
Now, is your wife going to continue to search? Holly wants to know.
Well,
without you,
in a year or two, like we may pick it back up again. You never know. With as much time that we put into it, it's like I don't know how you really. I may put stuff in a box and put it in the basement, but I can't really get it out of my brain.
Right.
So I don't know.
So now,
I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you the Hotel California CD. And
exactly.
Every day.
And when Copper is calling me every day, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this?
Oh, he's never done that to me. Whatever do you mean? No, I know, but you guys talk at probably a whole different level. So are you like cold turkey? Like this is the last time we will ever see Joel Lewicki anywhere? What's happening with your Facebook group? Because it's becoming one of the largest groups. I mean, you have some phenomenal.
That Facebook group is going to keep going. I'm going to keep tending it. And I've got great admins over there, present company not excluded. So that's going to keep going. And I'm just not going to be as active like on any of the YouTube stuff or, I'm sure as I pull away, I'll become the subject matter of more of Forrest's scrapbooks. So I can't think about that. But, other than that, going to be.
So if he comes out with the Don't Give Up scrapbook next week, maybe that's about you. You never know.
I'm sure that's going to happen. Yeah.
So I want to know what the little one right here thought of the trip to Yellowstone and her thoughts on you giving up the chase for the next 10 years. No more trips.
Tell everyone what you thought of our trip. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite
Anything
part?
brand new? Did you see something you've never seen before?
I'm telling her not to reveal any secrets.
Now, would you want to do it again, or would you want to go to Disney World next year?
Do it again.
Oh, nice. That's a pretty good compliment. All right.
Nice.
Cool. And next year will be New Mexico, right, Joel?
Maybe.
Now, you never know where that poem will take you.
Well, that's all. It's not going to be in Colorado.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you spent too many days in Colorado this search season, right?
Exactly. I've eliminated all of Colorado. Yeah.
So what is the one thing that really had you hooked on something that Forrest said, either privately on the emails or publicly, scrapbooks and other things? What would be that thing you'd give advice to a searcher? Focus on this because I think that there's a there.
Read the book just normally, and then read the poem 9, maybe 10 times, maybe memorize the poem, and then go back and read the book slowly, looking for things to jump out at you or maybe catch up in your brain.
And then once you find them, we still have no idea what to do with them, but it's fun to try and find them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Copper Dan, you were out this season. Are you
And I am
entire state of Minnesota out, or is it just Joel Lewicki that's out?
I am not quitting the chase. In fact, when I told my wife, I said, Joel's stepping out of the chase, she was just like, what? That's like your best friend. What are you going to do? I'm like, I'm calling him anyways. We'll find something to talk.
Well, now I do have to say, so my first search partner, he gave up. So we searched 4 years ago, 2015, 16. In 2017, he hung up his boots. By 2018, he was no longer on the blogs daily. He would check in with me here and there, and he actually sent me the books back about a month ago. But he called me this morning with something that he thinks he's got it figured out. What's the one thing he's never considered? Now, he usually calls me once a month. And it's like, just give me the highlights. Like I told him gut feel or this or that. But he called this morning and it's like, you've been out of it, dude, for like 3-4 years. Like what? And he's like, it just came to me. And I'm like, does that mean you're searching again? He's like, no, but I just want you to consider this.
And you're gonna share that with all of us right now, right?
I
don't know. Oh, okay.
Brought it up.
It is.
I tried.
Oh no! Once Joel gives up something really good, what's the one thing that you think we should? What's the one hint that you think we should all be? Not like a general idea. What's that one thing? What's the one thing we're all missing?
Who are you asking?
Anyway,
both of you. Yeah,
Anybody?
both of you.
Oh,
what is
I think
Minnesota?
where the chest is hidden. That's what everybody's missing.
Well, I know there's at least one in the room that'll say how it's concealed is the issue.
Because Joel, what if you walked right by it?
Oh,
Chances are I did not.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think, Copper Dan?
I think you can know what the blaze is and still not find the chest.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
I think the clues leading the last couple leading up to it are probably the most difficult ones.
So there is a question from the chat for Copper Dan. They want to know if you can do a copper piece from a photograph. Can you somehow replicate a photograph in a...
Copper Dan can do anything.
All right,
well,
give them your email address, Copper Dan, so they can contact you.
Email copperdan17@gmail.com.
And Covert One says his odds have improved because Joe Lewicki's out of the race.
Yeah.
And there's the issue. Like I know a lot of people said this last year we did a lot of social events and we're all competitors. So how can we do social events? It's kind of a weird, and yeah, only one can win, but still it's like one in the community's going, but one that you were kind of in it. You were like one of the lead contenders. So I don't know. Now, have you ever done this before where you're like, I'm out?
No, I haven't. And I mean, I've only been in it like, I'm trying to think here. It's under 3 years, so less than 3 years. So in that amount of time, I haven't ever like felt like I really exhausted my idea, and I feel like I'm pretty much there. So I need to kind of retool, and I think in order to do that, I need to step away. So
now, have you always been in that one search location? You might have said, oh my goodness. You might have already said that. Or like general area, not specific.
Yeah, I mean, I've never strayed very far from Colorado.
Yeah, like I said, Colorado, you spent a lot of time in. Okay.
And have you? It's good to take a break. I think it's good to take a break. But have you considered looking at any of the other active treasure hunts while you're on that break?
Boy, I don't. Now, Grand Adventure aside, which hopefully will be forthcoming here pretty shortly.
Mm-hmm.
And some rousing games when it's 20 below of Chase-opoly with my family. Other than that, no, I haven't given much consideration to it.
And Dan, are you working? I know you worked on The Secret for a little bit, that 13th cask, but when I think people thought it was in Minnesota, right?
Oh yeah.
Are you working on anything else?
I gotta head down to Louisville here in about a month for a show.
Oh,
so
cool.
If anyone has anything on The Secret they want me to look at when I'm down there.
And that's for the 13th cask, right? For people that don't know, yeah.
I was working with Minotaur Marino when he thought it was in Minnesota, and I was waiting for frost to go out of the ground, and literally we were within a couple of days of starting to probe, and the big announcement came, and they found the door, and Minnesota got X-nayed.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. We should do some videos on those Cape Row at some point in time.
But there's so much time. I mean, I understand why Joel's stepping back. I've only been in it just over a year, and it's life consuming.
Yeah, for sure.
The family does get, Joel's family is a little more involved than mine. Mine was a little bit at first, and then they just think I'm a little nuts.
Oh, we all are. But did you know, Jana told me that there are more small boots on the ground type hunts in Minnesota than any other state.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. I think because you guys
get and she finds them all.
You team up or like be right next to her right before she grabs it, and, distract her, have the kids grab it.
I think that's how she and her husband met. Was looking for the St. Paul Pioneer Press medallion.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I think I might be totally wrong on that. If Jana's in the room, please correct me or if someone knows. But.
So I will say this, everybody. Cowlazars Grand Adventure on Facebook was renamed. It is now called Forrest Fenn's Grand Adventure. And the reason is because I consider a Grand Adventure any of the treasure hunts that are out there, and Forrest Fenn has the biggest one. But Joel mentioned playing Chase-opoly and stuff, and me and Capro have said a new Grand Adventure is forthcoming, and if only there was a way that we could combine those two. If only we had a game within a game. So all I'll say is Grand Adventure Chase-opoly. You guys will have details on that at a later time. But order the game, because there is a game within the game, so...
Mike could keep no secret.
I know. We got to get the word out.
Together, you would be like, you would announce it within minutes. You'd be going live with the chat. So, yes. There'll be a hunt within the game, which it will be kind of a double fun then. So it'll be both a hunt and of course the pure.
Then the prize and how does it work and is it armchair or do you have to go somewhere? All that'll be released later on. But we hope it's something the kids could have fun with as well as the adults. So
Williams question. What an interesting question.
The demo or the prototype for Chase-opoly should be here next week, which means K-Pro will be in town, and we're going to bring it to the Searcher Meetup. So if anybody's in Las Vegas next Saturday, the 14th, show on up at Olive Garden because we're going to have the game with us to show everybody. And of course, we'll make a video. We'll probably go live that weekend and show all of you the game and all that fun stuff.
I'm not going to show of everything because of the hunt and a few other things.
Yeah,
but
we can't. It's a treasure hunt.
But we're going to bring lots of it there and just kind of show people that want to be there. So when is that?
What's that?
When is that meetup, Michael? Did you want to announce
the meetup is a week from tomorrow. It's September 14th at 5 p.m. at Olive Garden, right here on Flamingo on the east side. And then.
So it's a week from Saturday.
Yeah, sorry. It's Saturday, the September 14th. And then we're going to be at Olive Garden at 5 p.m. And then me and K-Pro are going to head over to Bally's to play the 8 p.m. tournament. So anybody and everybody can join us over there if you like. I did make an event on Facebook, and I'll share that in some of the groups next week or whenever. Facebook group, so we can get an idea of who might want to show up. Joel and Dan, I wish you were in town, but I know you're not, so...
Awesome.
I was thinking my phone reminded me this morning that this is where 1 year ago is when we all met, and it was like
isn't that awesome?
Thinking back today about that, how that was the best weekend.
It really was. I mean, everybody came together. There were really no rifts in the community. That all that happened later on. Everybody came together and kind of have fun. And you came out with your copper piece soon after that, because you had it there, and then that popularity it took off. The WWH piece, yeah.
He was very respectful, and he asked, he's like, "Is it okay if I go and get it and bring it out here?"
We were at the Corn, remember?
Yes, we were at the Corn, and you went and got it. And then I remember at the event. I don't think we realized how many extra sets of hands we needed. You were like, I just kind of could help out if you need. And I'm like, yeah, okay, can you do this? And you were like so helpful. You spent hours with us and then you were like one of the. Well, we'd all just met for the first.
Joel, I wish you could have been there. If you get a chance to go to one of the meetups,
I would have loved to.
Pretty fun.
So And I'm trying to remember, what was the big drawing that we all registered for? There was like tons of stuff, right? I just remember I was waiting for
Jamie here.
That was the Jamie Jordan drawing, which tomorrow would have been 1 year ago. Tomorrow we gave away all those prizes, including coin 1, 2, 3, and all that other stuff. Yeah,
And
Whatever happened to those coins?
1900
they're
19
out there. I wonder where number 3 is. Who has number 3? Oh, look at that!
Oh, not it. It'll
Right.
just
And then it disappears. That's right.
It disappeared.
magic.
But yeah, we all got together. You know, I met Forrest for the first time, met K-Pro for the first time, met Copper Dan for the first time, and met so many other people. You know, I had never met anybody.
We had the first World Series of Fenn. Of course, we didn't call it that, but
right.
Yeah, that was like the prelude to the World Series of Fenn. We just did an off the cuff. Mike dealt 16 searchers just hung out afterwards. This huge table. I was like one of the first ones out. I don't know what
and
happened.
that's when we realized how good Boomer Girl is at poker. So
that's right.
We do not play poker with Boomer Girl.
Yeah.
And we met Nelica and Morrow. Yeah, they were in the poker tournament, so we had a lot of fun. It was just a fun time.
I went to the first nightclub situation that I in 20 years, or at least 20 years probably. And do you remember that, Mike, when you were drinking that you're like, oh, it's a gingerbread house?
I don't know what those shots were, but it was nasty.
Ordering round
potpourri in a shot glass or something.
Was that on Friday night or Saturday? That was a Saturday night.
Yeah, it was after the drawing, wasn't it? That night. So
it was Saturday.
The drawing was on a Thursday. No, the drawing was on a Thursday. So I think it might have been Thursday night, but I could be wrong.
I just know that there were some hungover people at breakfast the next morning.
That's right. It was all such a blur. And then for those of you who maybe couldn't attend, I'm looking at you, Joel. The World Series of Fenn is February 15th next year. So let's do it again. Let's all get together and have some fun.
Here's the thing. If your loved one wants to go to Vegas, it's Valentine's Day weekend. And if you want to put a 4-day weekend to it, it's also President's Day weekend. I'm just saying.
Oh, that's right. Monday is President's Day.
I'm going to lay it out there. I let Nelica beat me last year.
Uh-oh.
I got another $100 bill that I place ahead of her.
Oh, I got.
You could do some side bets.
No, we could do some. We'll do bad beats and all of that.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun with it this year. So
yeah, there's gonna be some new things incorporated in. And Nelica was at both, so she's kind of become a part of it. And we know by that time, I need his fix, so he's gonna magically be at some lawyer convention in February 15th.
Joel's like, yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah.
Okay, so Joel, back to you on. So what do you? Everybody has to go out with a bang, right? And we know that you get secret hints from Forrest all the time. So tell us your best one. There's no secret recordings here. I won't pull those out unless I have to. I want to know, like,
do what now?
You know, we might have some secret recordings of Joel and Forrest. I'm totally kidding. No, give us your best one, because we know he told you and only you a lot of things.
Apparently, hurricane preparation for Christy is to drink a lot of liquor.
Because then you don't feel the weather. So.
Yeah. And she's been preparing very well. I do not get super secret hints from Forrest. That's someone else.
It's so fun to needle you about those. So of course you don't, but he makes you think you do. Like when he said, your WWWH is, and finish that sentence. You were telling all of us, like, what, a couple months back? I'm being so ornery. I'm totally making this up, guys. I'm just.
Hey, bro, he's just drinking apple juice.
All Forrest said was, Joel, your WWH that you sent me is better than the one I actually used. I wish.
Nice.
But that doesn't help you because it must not be the right one.
And because he said that, you could share your WWH.
He didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I believe the only way that you can truly let go of your solve is to say where it is, or
I didn't say I was letting go of my solve. I said I was
not searching. Stepping. Okay, so you're temporarily. That just confirmed. You'll be back.
Yeah,
so,
it's just a break. We all need a break sometimes.
What do you think it's going to take to get you back?
Yeah.
So my past search partner way back said, unless something completely broke it loose and it became a foot race, and that's why I kind of keep them up to date every month. That's the only way I get back in it. If you were to say I would get back in and start really dedicating myself to the search again, if blank, what's the blank?
Boy, if he did come out with a scrapbook that was like, that does seem like a confirmer, or oh boy, that really does relate to what I'm thinking. I'd be spending most of my time trying to talk my wife into allowing me to go back out. That would be, you know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah. Okay.
I won't know that because I'm not going to be following it. So
Yeah, but I know I know how to get off of the.
Yeah. A couple of us do.
It's like, Joel, you got to see the scrapbook that just came out.
Yeah, what exactly do you need the scrapbook to say?
Yeah, here's precisely what I needed to say.
3 keywords. That's all we need. 3 keywords. Pineapple, Crocs, and what else?
Yeah.
Code words.
Say Joel Lewicki was the close. Actually, he could just say Joel. You probably know. Joel was the closest searcher.
Yeah, knowing my conspiracy theory mindset, any scrapbook would probably get me that.
Confirmation bias, right?
So just to be clear, because we already had the question in the chat, Forrest did not confirm that your WWH was incorrect, right?
No, he would never.
Yeah. All right.
If you're asking that question, like Forrest does not do that. Not with any.
But you have a serious face on tonight. When I say it, I think everybody saw me as totally sarcastic and a little silly. Yeah. You were like serious face. So some people, and you're the serious one that, we were. Yeah. So I will say every time Joel introduces people and says, welcome to the Facebook group, I always say, give us your secret super hint. And there's always somebody that messages me and is like, oh, he gets them. And I'm like, okay, I was being sarcastic, but give him a hard time about it because I like and it's fun. So but every time I do that, I get a message from somebody who's like, oh, I didn't know Joel. I'm like, Joel's the chosen one. You haven't heard?
My wife just razzed me from the background. Wait, you're getting super secret hints and you still haven't found it? What's wrong with you?
Yes. Okay. I do agree. We just had in the chat room, your kids are never going to forget that trip.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome. In fact, I don't know if it's possible to do this. I would share some photos from our trip because we had such a blast.
Oh, that'd be great.
So if you go down to the bottom of Zoom and hit share, you should be able to share your screen.
Yeah,
be ready because it will be ready though. It'll show your entire screen.
Make sure you're sharing the pictures you want to share. That's all.
Yeah.
Oops.
Let's see.
Pops up to the screen. It says Joel's complete solve and explained.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I was thinking more Joel in the hot spring myself. Legs akimbo.
I don't think that
we know why you're stepping back. Crazy boys in this chase.
So congratulations to Chris, who found the proxy item while Joel's looking at that, who found the proxy item down in Texas. And I realized we never gave credit where credit is due, because who created that treasure hunt, K-Pro?
Is this the Texas one?
The Texas one, yeah. Your cookie monster.
I know. You told me not to say it, though. We can say it now?
Well, now it's over. Yeah, of course we give credit when it's over.
Okay, AJ Rainville, the riddle mastermind of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, AJ.
AJ created the clues, went out and hit it, did the whole thing down there in Texas. So yeah, big thank you to AJ Rainville. It was a fun, the music lyrics, it was a fun one. And then at the end of tonight's show, we will show where the other proxy item we hid. I don't know if it's still there, but we'll show you where that was. So, oh, there we go. Cool. There we go.
All right. So I don't know if this is going to work.
Oh, that's a good picture.
This is like the highlights here. It's gonna fly through. You guys don't want to see
Badlands.
Log. So yeah, we went to the Badlands, which is awesome. So if you have the opportunity to go, I highly recommend it.
Everyone's asking, this is an amazing Colorado terrain, right?
Yeah.
From the Molly Brown house.
It's on the way to Colorado.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. Wall drug. That jackalope was a real jackalope. It had been stuffed though. It wasn't live. Let's see.
Went to Rushmore? Cool.
Come on, let's just do the highlights here, Joel. Let's see. Oh, sure. Oh, these are great. This is my son mountaineering.
Is that fun. A lake in Colorado down there then, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Can you guys see these? Are those? I could just do that.
Yeah, we can see them. Yep.
My beautiful family. This is how we slept in the tent. It was so cold. It was 9 degrees in the morning when we got up. This is my daughter watching the sunrise. That was like basically from our campsite. It was unbelievable. Lots of fun. More thermal features in Colorado than I would have expected. That was interesting.
Anybody notice this down here on the left-hand side?
What's that?
FF search folder. Just don't go in it. I'm trying to click on it, but it's not working.
Oh, goodness. The which one?
When she's pew-pewing.
Oh, yeah. This is, my wife wants to show this one where she's Princess Leia here. She's shooting her laser rifle.
Oh, that's cool.
I was going to say, I'm totally like a grandparent right now. It's like the pictures of the adults are okay, but the ones with the kids, it's like, show us.
Yeah.
No, I have to tell you.
Old Faithful. You guys made it into Old Faithful?
No, there's a knockoff one in Colorado near Silver City. It's not as good as the real one.
I just didn't want to do the wait. I've been several times. I still haven't gone to Old Faithful. Too many.
Here's my kids swimming in a lake that looks a lot like Hebgen Lake up by West Yellowstone.
In Colorado. Yeah.
I think that one might have been in Idaho. Yeah.
Their mom said, please don't get wet with your hiking boots on. And their dad said, just take everything off.
That's cool.
Right. It was
another waterfall in Colorado.
It was basically sunny like every day.
But just cold at night, huh?
Cold at night, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a good picture. The memories are what it's all about, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Joel, I'm a little jealous because my family's idea of roughing it is a hotel without room service. This would never happen. So we gotta go.
I was trying to think if we. Yeah, my wife had swearing fits with the bear box every time she wanted to get the food out of the bear box. That was quite the treat. But this is inside of our tent. We had most of our packing consisted of blankets because we knew it was going to get so cold at night. And then they were like all dressed up and there. Yeah. Okay, I'm done sharing. There you go.
Sounds like an awesome trip. So
live show's over. Thank you all for putting up with that.
That's a good way to end it. Even though you're not ending it, you're just taking a break. But that's a good way to take a break.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. The kids had a blast.
Yeah,
I had a blast. It was very.
Oh, Lewicki, the reason I'm in this chase is about 90% because of your YouTube videos, and now you're leaving.
Yeah, those YouTube videos that I took down because I thought they were
I saved them long before you.
Now, are those videos still available where you could put them back up?
No,
they are. They're just not accessible.
Well, maybe you should release them one at a time over the next couple months. You never know.
Yeah.
You know what?
They didn't help me, so
I didn't see them. I don't know if Mike did. You could share each one with us, and we could do a show on each one, and that would help you let go, and we would have some new content to have.
No.
We could rip them apart for you.
Well, you can get some of these smart people from the chat room to start sharing their stuff because my stuff doesn't lead anywhere. So,
but we are going to get back to Thrill the Chase for sure.
We're
looking for those hints. What's that, Dan?
I couldn't get Joel to really respond to my emails. It was like emailing Forrest Fenn. I couldn't get him to respond. So I finally left Colorado and went and searched down in New Mexico, and all of a sudden I get an email. What the heck are you doing down there? Back up.
And did he sign it J instead of F?
Yes, I did.
Put lowercase or capital letter.
Everybody loves the Yellowstone area. It would be something if it really is in New Mexico, wouldn't it?
I hadn't thought about looking up there, Mike. That's not a bad idea.
I know. But then is it Montana or Wyoming? I mean, you still got a choice to make once you're even up there. So
Yeah.
anyway, so DeBear says, Joel Lewicki, if after your search, how many parts of your solution need to be reworked if you come back?
That is the question, DeBear. Possibly all of it. Or possibly, like Forrest says, if you don't have where warm waters halt, you don't have anything. So maybe that was wrong. Maybe I was wrong on that, and I was just forcing the clues to fit where I was looking. Maybe if we rework that and start in a totally different place, maybe a totally different state, then those things that feel like I found or that we've found will fit in a different location. Who knows?
Joel,
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
We've never talked about confirmation bias.
No, not at all.
No, never.
Are you guys in the same area, or do you even not want to say that?
Even though I've said that I'm a confirmation bias purist.
Well, one of the hardest things I think is after the first solve, I call it my love solve. I wanted to find a new solve, and it took forever. It felt like, and then when I had the Des Perce solve, I didn't want to let that one go, but I kept feeling like something's wrong. I just either do I need to refine a little, exactly like you're saying, or just scrap it. So I gave it to my past search partner, Follow Me Down, and Cynthia. And I thought both of them were going to make a run for it. And they were both like, here's your problems. And I was like, what? You're not running like full, what? And then that's when I knew, okay, let it go. Because they're like, no, it's not there. So now it's like purgatory. It's the time before you get another. You have to have a solve that you love to really jump into it. Can't be one that you're kind of. That's why I think sharing on the blog, most people don't care about, because they have the one they love. They're not gonna jump because they see yours. It'd be how many people, Mike, has shared our solves with their solves with us, and we think it's okay, but we don't have a lot of feedback, and they're like, "You're secretly going out to my location because it's so good, and you're just lying to me." It's like, no, it's really just not that good. Like, but who am I? Like, it could be secretly Forrest telling me exactly where it is, and I'd be like, because it just doesn't appeal to me, and I don't know what it takes to find it. It's hard to get outside of your own solve or your own perception. So.
And Dan, you've got an area, and I'm assuming you plan on going back next year. I mean, do you have an area where you think it is you're going to be back to?
I'm stuck on one thing, maybe two, and if I can. And I've just been busy, but I've got about 3-4 weeks where I can really dive into it. And if I can figure it out, I'll go yet this year. Cool. But it has to be, that's a long ways out there.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's only a 2.5 hour flight from Minnesota, but to fly into West, it's like $800.
Into the West Yellowstone Airport? Yeah.
Yeah. And then it might be getting less now that the main season is over. Maybe they'll drop down, but otherwise, it's 1,100 mile drive out. So I mean, but I think you're gonna know when you got it. And when I went, I was 80% confident, but it was more of a recon mission with my dad, and come back with pictures and then work it through.
Well, I hope we see you and Copper Dave at the World Series of Fenn again next year, because that was a lot of fun.
Well. Before when you had the other date set, it was like, oh no, it's on a show that I cannot. Right. I have to go to the show. It's like where I make my main income from. But you moved it, so
awesome.
I looked at the date. I'm like, sorry, hon, but unless you're coming with, I am not going to be with you on Valentine's Day.
I was just going to say, is she thinking of coming with you, or you haven't got that far yet?
I encouraged it. I said, you'll love Vegas and you'll love everybody, but she's
right.
Well, and we are going to be theming this year's. It's not because a lot of people said they were intimidated because they don't play poker, and it was a poker tournament. So the World Series of Fenn, there is going to be events, and there's not only going to be a poker tournament, there's going to be a Chase-opoly tournament. There's going to be a couple of other things, kind of like we did last time, but I think only 1 or 2 people went to poker and only poker, and everybody realized it was a whole weekend of events.
Remember the escape room? This is the break.
Yeah, that's right.
I put it on at the escape room, and I've never taken it off, and for no particular reason, never did. So
Nice.
And maybe we'll
Well,
do another escape room. We had a lot of fun. So
I'm
Yeah,
really
so
glad the guys beat the crap out of the girls on that.
that's
What?
right.
Just bold-faced liar. Just bold-faced lies.
K-Pro, fake news.
Fake news.
The men won. I was
Unbelievable.
with them. I was with Mike. We totally.
Okay, let's ask Mike. Mike, who won?
I plead the fifth. I don't remember.
Who else was in the room that was there?
Covert One's in
Covert
here.
one,
Covert
but I think
one.
he left the chat room already. He said goodnight, everybody.
Covert One wouldn't lie.
Yeah.
And now we know.
Steve Barnes was there. He needs to come back and try and repeat as the event number one champ. But yeah, we'll see.
You know,
Okay.
Steve. I'm almost done, K-Pro. Steve, and there was somebody else that had a huge. When we got to the top 5, huge thing of chips, and I'm like, these guys are freaking good. They'd never played poker before.
Right.
And I mean, the top 5 of us, I mean, you were what, 6, Mike?
Yeah, I went out. I was the
really the only
7th, I think
poker player.
7th. And I saw everybody how they were playing, and I'm just shaking my head going, what the? It's like beginner's luck, you know?
I know. My dad said it's really hard to play poker against non-poker players.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I love her to pieces because she did so well, but Boomer Girl, I sat next to, and she was socializing and doing great, but she was like, I had a pair of queens and I pushed a lot in, and she was next to me and she was talking, and the dealer's like, it's your action. And she, what'd she bet? And she pushed in 3-8 offsuit. 3-8 offsuit. What are you doing? Like, what? But she won every hand. She got on the board, pair of 8.
Christy, she played the same way the year before. I think she knows what she's doing. I think she's better than you think.
Could be.
3-8 offsuit. 3-8 offsuit, off position. I don't know. That's crazy. Okay.
K-Pro was a little frustrated by the end of the night.
Okay, so AJ Rainville, and AJ Rainville is in the room, and he was at the escape room. He knows.
Yep.
He knows.
And his cow suit needs to make another appearance.
Maybe we do a contest of who has the best cow affiliated
outfit. That would be funny. Costume.
Yeah. So okay. Well, so here's a question that I have for both of you, because you were both in it last season. So do you think we will see anything else major related to the hunt this search season, or up until the end of the year? Let's say it that way. Up until the end of the calendar
year. This year. Okay.
Mean something coming from Forrest?
Sure, if you want to frame it that way. No, I'm just saying in the chase in general. Do we see anything?
Well, Chase-opoly is going to be huge, but that aside, right?
That's going to blow up the world. Yeah, but anything else?
I think things have already started to calm down. People are starting to go into off-season mode. I don't think there's much of the search season left. I mean, most of us have already got out there that had to solve and looked. So.
And it is Labor Day, kind of the season's over. And that's part of the reason we're adding this treasure hunt to Chase-opoly. We thought it would give some people something to work on over the off season. So, if people so choose.
I know I got some stuff coming soon, so stay tuned.
Oh, cool. All right.
Something, and it's not going to cost anybody anything.
Nice.
Another Copper Dan giveaway.
Oh, okay, cool.
And this one will top anything that I've done to this point.
Oh,
all
nice.
right. Well, come on and announce it when you're ready.
Okay, so Jack says Forrest ain't talking. He's waiting for the lead searcher. I don't think so, but okay. I think we're going to see Forrest talking.
I don't think he has anything else to say. I don't.
He says that every year. He said at the Lure, and that was 2 years ago. He always says stuff. He says stuff for a guy who has nothing to say. He says a lot of stuff.
Well, I really hope a new documentary comes out, but I know that's not going to happen by the end of this year. But like Jens and other people at Fembreed, and then I hear there's guys doing a podcast. There's a lot of stuff in the works. I just hope it actually gets released here pretty quick.
Okay,
here's I have no details on any of that, but
I thought there was supposed to be a couple of big publications this summer or even spring that I haven't seen.
A couple of them came out, but there's one big one that is coming out by the end of the year, and I think it's going to change everything. For me personally, I think we're going to see a lot of people get out of it. They're going to be, I think there's going to be a lot out there.
You're saying is going to piss a lot of people off. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think a lot of people have their ideas, and when Forrest says something, it,
Right.
yeah, you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, hopefully that gets released. I mean, it's been a while, so hopefully it comes out.
So K-Pro, what do you think about, as you and I and Mike are big capitalists in the chase? What do you think about this guy that
And
came
this-
out with this book of a solve that leads to nothing?
Oh, that's right.
So
Knucklehead.
there's a couple things. I think he can create a book, and absolutely he can put it out there. And I think like I have Cynthia's book, I have Desert Files book, I have some other books, and other materials and merchandise and all that. I am so in favor of that. From what I understand, this book is saying Forrest has just not told everybody, but it's gone. So if you believe that and you want to put money behind someone that would say that, why would you buy that book, review that book, give any time to that book to support
agree.
someone that is against Forrest? That's just my opinion. So I do believe that he can do what he likes, and I don't think the book was overpriced. I think it was like $5 or something. But to give any time to him, if you are in favor of this search, and maybe I don't want to give attention to someone that is, I think it's pathetic what he's doing, but I think he did spend time. I think it's ridiculous that the news picked that up over some of the search story. I couldn't get one person, and I contacted all the media to come to the Jamie Jordan event because it just doesn't, it's not sexy. It doesn't sell. It was good people doing things for good people. But this guy that's basically blowing Forrest up, it has a book and people are buying it, and people that are friends of Forrest supposedly are like promoting it and buying it and talking about it. I think it's crazy. So I'm all about capitalism. I just personally don't think selling a story that I don't believe is true.
The problem is people that are new to the chase are going to pick that up.
Yes,
and I've already heard it.
Yep.
People getting emails, and I'm like,
Right.
is it
over? Yeah.
If you don't believe in the chase and if you believe that, then why are you here? Why are you part of my Facebook group?
Right.
Don't make negative comments. Just go away.
Well, and here's the thing too. So 3 years ago, I came back from a boots on the ground. Maybe 4 years ago, I was very bitter, and I think some of you know that I have corresponded with Forrest in the past. I actually said to Forrest, I can't talk to you right now. I don't want to correspond right now because I'm going to say something not nice. And I did make some comments on the boards, like maybe this whole thing is a hoax. And I was pretty open about convince me otherwise. And people were like, no, we don't need to convince you. You're going to have to take some leap of faith and either, go out well or don't. But we had this good discussion about, and that's actually what I thought the FOIA kind of helped with, that there was Douglas Preston that said he'd seen it. I had met Chip. There was evidence enough, but I was bitter. I wasn't bitter enough to write an entire book and blow anything up. I wrote some things. I was upset. I got over it pretty quick, but I was pretty emotional in it. And I think that's okay. But I think it's okay to question. I don't think it's okay to mandate. There, a lot of those people, when they come back from boots on the ground, they go to every single post after any post anywhere. It's like, but this is a hoax, but this is a hoax, but this. Okay, you don't have to tell us every single. And like, we're going to get sued because we're supporting a hoax. Okay. Sue.
So MEH says, and then he retracted it, so maybe he doesn't want me to say it. He thought basically what he's saying is he doesn't know if the guy that wrote the book is actually saying Forrest knows it's been found or not. And I didn't read the book and I didn't really watch that video, so I don't know what the guy's trying to say.
So Joel Lewicki, are you taking some time off of the chase to write a book?
No.
All right. I just throwing that because that might sell.
No.
I mean, you're like you're like a big name in the chase, though. Possibly lead searcher.
I'll tell you what the book is. I got the book idea, K-Pro. Should I say it or should I not say it? Well, think about it. It's a book where each of the searchers have their own chapter. It's a book of all the different searcher stories. You know what I mean? If Copper Dan had a chapter and Joel Lewicki had a chapter and all the different searchers, that's the book everybody would want to read because it's everybody's different opinion on their experiences with boots on the ground, on what they think the clues are, whatever it is you want to contribute to the book. I mean, that's the book. The searchers of the chase.
I want to read. I want to read or rate the book of when this thing is solved.
Well, of course, yeah.
So, well, here's the thing. I think it's really interesting, and I've talked with Joel. if I had a book that had the top 15 searchers, those are top 15 random people. Those are not like, I don't know if I'd buy that book. Well, unless it was like $5 or $10.
But what if it was searchers you knew? Like Cynthia would have a chapter and Dale would have a chapter. And you know what I mean? It would be like, oh, I know them from either Facebook groups or YouTube. What do they have to say? To me, it's just because it's not one book from me. I wrote a book. What's Cowlazars' opinion? It's a bunch of different searchers. And if you could get 25 different people to do a chapter or something, I mean, to me, that seems like it has appeal to somebody. See, Michael J. Forney says, great idea. Now somebody's going to steal it, but that's fine. If somebody wants to take the work and can get the buy-in of all the searchers to do that, I think it would be cool.
Yeah, that could be, but more so, I don't know. I just don't know if that would, and that would take a lot of time and all that.
And then be a big project.
And you didn't include someone else, and then,
Well, you could open it up and say who wants to be a part, and, somebody choose, you leave it open. I mean, but then I guess you're going to get some crazy people, and do you say, no, we don't want you in there, and then there's all that stuff. But
yeah, maybe, I don't know.
So MEH is just trying to say Robert Kittinger he doesn't think that Robert Kittinger is claiming that Forrest has heard of any find. In other words, he's not saying Forrest knows it's found and not telling people anything like that. But that's better, MEH. I get it. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and maybe that was what the headline said on like the TV news clip, that he'd found it and it just wasn't there, and
that's what I heard too.
That's what I saw. I just did the news clip. I didn't go to the book and all of that. So so maybe if he's just another searcher like Desert Fire, or like I liked Cynthia's book, and exactly how she says it. Let me get it out. Chase.
Okay, bro, you disappeared.
Okay.
You guys, I got to tell you, this screen you guys are is weirding me out.
It's not like perfect, I know.
Mike's coming again. Mike, we're losing you.
Cynthia's book says, you can't do it. One woman's insight into Forrest Fenn and his poem. The reason that I like how that's said, it's not claiming to have any hints. It's not claiming to have it. Now, she put some stuff that she believes and has said in this book, and she does put exact quotes from Forrest when they are applicable. And she actually put like Forrest Fenn quotes of what was important to her, but she was really true to herself, or I think to the search community, of she wasn't trying to say I have got it solved or anything for a fact. She's like, here's my opinion, and she's been in the chase for a long time. That's what I liked. It seems like the other, I don't know, I haven't seen it, or I haven't read it, and I am not planning to. So there you have it.
And then I just got a text from a searcher that says, hey, I'm still going boots on the ground. So the season isn't over for everybody. And I guess it depends what state you're in as far as how long in the year you can go search. But his question was, how many people think you need a metal detector to find the chest? I personally don't.
I think he said you don't. I don't know the exact.
I think maybe it could be an asset, but I don't think
help.
It's a necessary asset.
Right.
Well, and Joel, here's another question. If or when you're stepping out of the chase, let's say it's next year that you come back, let's say next May, you decide to come back in, do you think you're going to be behind?
No, I think that coming back with fresh eyes may be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it may help. Yeah.
Quana says that Forrest did say if you're within 12 feet, you probably would find it. He put, if you are within 12 feet, you can't miss the treasure. I don't know if Forrest actually said that in those words or not. But
I don't know.
Hooley's got a good point. Hooley says, but if Forrest did see a huge hole in the ground and it was there, wouldn't Forrest make an announcement? In other words, if somebody made a video and said, look, I think it was here, the person who found the chest never contacts Forrest. Would Forrest come out and say, yes, obviously it's been found. Somebody has proved to me that it is not there when they went there. Or would Forrest not say anything because the finder didn't actually contact him?
No, I don't think, well, go ahead, you guys first.
That's a good question. I mean,
I think he has a way of knowing, because as some of you may know, Forrest has said that he's going to announce, he will let me know, and I'll put up on Thor when the treasure chest has been found, when he's been notified, is how he originally put it.
See, that's my point. What if he's not notified? Right.
But there's a second part to this. So last few months, up until a few months ago, I would email him every time somebody would go on the ridiculous blogs or Facebook and say, I found it. And then remember the one guy, he's like, wait till the end of the week, Friday at noon, and I'm putting out a video. And the video was, so I would email Forrest, and Forrest would say, okay, bro, I will tell you. No, it has not been found. And it's like, I thought that was interesting because he's not saying, no, I've not been notified. He's like, no, it has not been found. So I would go up there and I would say, and the one guy that was going to sue us because of it, because I was like, Forrest said, no, this wasn't the case. And then they're like, no, but you didn't hear it directly. I'm like, yeah, I heard it directly from Forrest. And he confirms it each time to just kind of settle people down. But Forrest and I have talked about we're not going to do that every single time, because then if he doesn't answer every single time somebody says it, then maybe that's the one. So I'm not going to, just because 17 people come out this search season, they say they have it, I'm not going to email him 17 times and he answers each time. He's just going to announce it when he knows. And I think it's more than him being notified, personally.
So you think he would? In other words, he hasn't been contacted, but if he does have a way to know it's been found, he would announce that.
I think he has a way to know.
I think that's fair. I would hope he would do that.
Oh, I think especially if it came out, let's say he doesn't have a way to know, and this guy's video where he's
somebody
going
shows.
into a man-made structure and that's where he says it is, I think he would say, like, that's where it was. It's odd that it's not there. Or send Shiloh, or he'd probably call Joel, because he does every day, and just say, Joel, can you go check that one spot for me? And it's like 12 feet from exactly where Joel was searching a couple weeks ago. Just kidding.
On that note, I'm going to sign off, guys. I'm feeling under the weather, and I'm fading quickly. So,
all right, Joel.
We love you. Everybody loves you, and we know it's not goodbye. It's until we see each other again.
Take a break.
Bye. Just till next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always welcome to come back on whenever you want to.
Thanks, guys, and thanks for letting me come on tonight and say goodbye to everybody. Your show is always so much fun to watch. You guys are great. I'm excited to play Chase-opoly, and I'll be watching for the grand adventure.
All right. Thanks, Joel. Thanks a lot for coming on.
See you, buddy.
See you guys.
Bye.
So,
like that.
How many other people have quit, I wonder? Or, excuse me, taking a break?
You know what, though, guys? The odds just got better that one of us is invited.
That's what Covert One said. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Diggin' Gypsy, and remember when Forrest wrote a scrapbook about, like, being disappointed, but I don't know if she's really out. Like, and Joel, like, even though, like,
No
it
way.
might just be a break. I think it's going to be a break kind of thing.
I talk to Joel every day, and he'll come back.
Yeah, of course he will.
I mean, he's frustrated. He put, I know how much time he puts into this, and, I really expected him to come back with it. I told you that. I thought it was done.
So will you go to that area like next year? I mean, is that somewhere you're still kind of looking around? Or
yeah, I mean, that's we do the same.
Okay, so do we want to talk about the new article that's out? Like,
yes, we do actually. So and I haven't seen it posted anywhere except Forrest Fenn's Grand Adventure, which is where K-Pro posted.
I put it. Oh,
you did?
Okay.
Yeah, I was having some internet problems, so it was up on Thor, and I posted it on the Grand Adventure, but then I tagged all of the administrators of the other groups.
I haven't read it yet. I just haven't I actually forgot about it, but there's a mistake in it. They said he got cancer in 98.
98.
98.
Yeah. So is that so there's actually and I'm going to give credit where credit's due here. Zappa 73491 on Dow's site actually did here's all the anomalies and all the issues, and I think everybody is noticing the one that is, it's not 1980. It was
88, not 98.
Correct. And so it says in there that it's 98. Let's see.
Darn it. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to show
this.
There
first thing that caught my eye was Margie duplicated Forrest typo from TTOTC pre-Columbia. Well, sort of a typo. A gold figure certainly predates the existence of the country of Columbia, but what she really meant was pre-Columbian. Margie spelled it correctly on page 171. A little unfortunate to see Forrest's name misspelled in the large font title. So they misspelled Forrest's name, which I thought was interesting.
Man, and it's from Margie Goldsmith. Didn't she do the original article way back when?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's what.
If there's a hint, that's a hint. I don't know. Another anomaly are the years that he got cancer, which we already talked about. She also duplicates Forrest misspelling of O'Keefe.
She also says Fenn has never said what he thinks the treasure is worth. Some have estimated it to be valued at $4 million. Others say it's closer to $6 million. I've never heard anybody say $6 million. Have you guys?
Do you think this is a play on I don't know how to say this. It's like Forrest wrote this, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think she knows how to spell Forrest. Forrest has 2 R's in his name.
Right.
I think anyone, especially, I don't know.
Well, and
I'm not going to say anything to get myself into trouble.
she says the bronze chest creation date was more from the 16th century from the 12th century, and its weight has gone from 42 pounds to 44 pounds. So and isn't there a quote from Douglas Preston in there?
I'm scanning it. Let's see.
It's at the last page. I don't have it up.
So if anybody wants to read it, it is in Forrest Fenn's Grand Adventure on Facebook. Go join that group.
And it's on Hint of Riches.
Hintofriches.com. There's probably in a lot of the other groups too. I'm looking, Douglas Preston, because I haven't actually read it either yet.
Yeah.
Forrest tells searchers to grab their water bottles and come search. You just have to find the clues, he insists. Have I ever heard him say grab a water bottle? Forrest has not gone back to the location to see if the treasure is still there, because he is sure he will be followed by searchers.
Anon says, what about when she mentions there are 9 clues in the poem, only in stanzas 2 through 4? Why not the whole poem? Oh, I didn't know she said. Okay, I got to go read this a little
Say
closer.
that again? I missed it.
Anon said, what about when she mentions there are 9 clues in the poem, only stanzas 2 through 4 are posted? Why not the whole poem?
That's because we know the 9 clues are only in these 3 stanzas, obviously. Forrest told her to do that.
He wanted to make sure the nine sentence.
That's right. I mean, it's obviously these are the 9. It's funny. Somebody just emailed me and they had exact same theory and said, if you're saying that the clues are only in these 3 stanzas, what are they? And I referred them to our video we did about the 9 clues and how every second line is a direction: canyon down, drawing knives to the left, look quickly down. It was just interesting, the video we did.
I've been thinking about this lately. Is look quickly down the last clue in the poem, or is it if you've been wise and found the blaze, look quickly down?
The one video that we did, which we are definitely going to revisit, is that the directions might not be clues. So in other words, take it in the canyon down, it might not be a clue. It's just it's a direction.
The canyon is the clue.
Ever drawing knife. Yeah.
But if you start at begin and end at cease,
right.
I mean, it's tough to, you have to use almost every line to get 9.
Right.
I think.
And maybe go in peace is a clue that makes sense once you're there. Like, oh, it's an affirmer that I'm in the right area somehow.
Yeah, but he also says you're something like, and I'm going to paraphrase it in my mind, you're a fool if you disregard any of my words, especially the nouns, or don't do it, or be careful. Entire stanzas are ruled out. I don't know about that, even though you're right, Mike and I came up with 2, 3, and 4. That's why he did it. It was a message to us that we're the lead searcher.
Here's the part with Douglas Preston. The story of Forrest Fenn and his treasure inspired New York Times bestselling author Douglas Preston to write the Codex. Says Preston, who has written 27 books, the story is based on what Forrest told me, but Forrest is much nicer, kinder, and more honest than the main character in the Codex. We should do a vlog on the Codex, Christy, because I have not read it. We should read it and actually do the similarities and stuff. So,
oh, you don't have that?
I have the book. I just haven't read it all the way through. Have you read it?
I haven't read it all the way through.
We should do that. Maybe do a vlog on it. Forrest hasn't even told his wife Peggy or their children where the treasure is hidden, because he knew that once he involved someone else, the secret would be let out of the bag, says Preston. I was concerned that some really clever person would find it quickly. Someone who knew about Forrest Fenn's life, says Preston. Well, that sounds like the 200-footer, doesn't it? But Forrest said no. The treasure is really well hidden, and that it might take at least 100 years for someone to find it. Because even with the clues, it's still difficult to find. Does he mean even if you figure out what the 9 clues are, it's still difficult to find?
Is that what Douglas Preston said, or Forrest?
That's what Preston says Forrest said. That is what Preston is saying.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. That goes back to what Dan said, that even if you have the right blaze, you might not, it's still hard to find type thing.
I think there's something with Douglas Preston. He has that. He has the 2 parking lots. He is supposedly confirmed the 2 parking lots are. There's a reason there was 2 different parking lots said, and he won't say why. He lunches with Forrest. He's a friend of Forrest. I don't know. I think somebody knows a little bit more than they're saying. He might not know the final spot, but I think he knows a little something, something. Well, he said he knows a little something, something. Why 2 parking lots?
Yeah, it's an interesting article. I mean, it's only the 4 pages here, but never
I mean,
know.
right
Check
off
it
the
out.
bat.
Yeah.
In big
So-
bold letters, she spells Forrest's name.
Yeah,
is-
what is that all about? I wonder if he emailed her like, "What? Hey," because again, this was a while ago though, because it says
No, it was
it's
September 5th.
no when it was recorded. Look, but on the other hand, says Fenn, in 13 months I'll be 90 years old. So apparently she talked to him 13 months ago because he just turned. See, I thought he turned 89. He's actually 90.
No, he turned 89.
I tried-
So that would be,
I see. He means
Did-
next year. Now I
he
get
did
it.
this in July then.
So this is a recent then, and he's saying
Yeah.
next year in 13 months I'll be 90 years old. Okay, I get it. So I wish someone would hurry up and find the treasure. Okay, well
Is
then
she-
I was reading it the wrong way.
Does she reference his name in the article at all? Or
Whose
she-
name?
She had to, Forrest. Where
She
she had to
says-
spell.
She says Fenn, his last name,
Oh, she just calls him Fenn.
which he
Yeah.
told me my name's not Fenn, it's Forrest.
Yeah, he does not
So
like
I don't know if he likes this article or not. It'd be interesting if he puts out a scrapbook about this article. Get it right, people.
No, I think I think he knows most reporters don't get it exactly right. Like that one's a little interesting that they didn't have an editor that would catch some of those things. And maybe we should write the editor and say, so when you misspell the person's name, write in the
right.
title, tell us what your editorial process is to ensure the integrity of your stories.
Well, right here is his full name, and it's spelled correctly. Despite warnings that are posted on multiple websites and posted warnings from Forrest Fenn. So they spelled it right in the article. They just got it wrong here. Somebody needs to be let go. That's crazy.
Or it's intentional and dun dun dun.
I mean, that's
Yep.
Yeah.
that'd be
There's that
spelling Copper Dan's name Cooper Dan.
DB Cooper. See
Or-
how it all
Yeah.
ties in?
Or-
one man rode 28 miles on a bicycle in the snow and almost froze after getting wet. Who the heck was that? 28 miles on a
Wow.
bicycle.
So MEH editors choose the title. Do they get the editors do choose the titles, but do they purposely misspell? Or I don't know. Think
I
they
mean-
would either.
Oh, I see. MEH is saying that could be somebody other than Margie. Margie wrote the article. Somebody at the company places the title and stuff. That's possible.
Yeah.
3D
well-
Braun says that was Dale on the bicycle for 28 miles. I don't know about that. What?
Yeah.
Anon says the title also says, oh yeah, look, treasure worth 3 to 4 million in the mountains north of Santa of Fe. It doesn't say Santa Fe. It says Santa of Fe, waiting to be
Okay,
found.
this is
What the heck is going
this
on
is-
here? Isn't that crazy? You see it in the title? So whoever did that title, both lines, is man. I don't know.
Yeah, something's a little
Well,
fishy
then
there.
They had to pay money for that.
Good catch,
that-
Anon. Either
Yeah.
somebody was fooling around and did it on purpose, or somebody really wasn't paying attention at all. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think you guys are going to have to do a full video on this.
Yeah.
Like-
Maybe we could highlight each of the aberrant. Well, I'd want to know first if there's anything to it. Maybe I'll do a letter to the editor and see. Like
Well-
you have so many inaccuracies and misspellings.
MEH says, look at the reputation of the magazine. The magazine's called Wine, Dine, and Travel. I mean, I have no idea what that is. So, just anybody knows that, like I don't know. I don't know anything about that magazine.
Hi, Zozo. So I do think that there's going to be a few of these types of articles that I don't necessarily think they'll all be groundbreaking. I think they'll be. I mean, some people thought this was like Margie's old one from years ago, and it wasn't.
Mhm.
So I just think there's going to be quite a few of those. I know there was like 6 reporters at least at Fembry. We had a couple at Function. I do think though we are going to see like there was a lot of people doing documentaries. I think a lot of those projects are falling by. I've followed up with a few of the documentarians, and they've just gone a different direction. They scrapped the project. They did, something different. They didn't get approved by the networks, that sort of thing. So it's like one of those you have to have 100 of them come out before one really takes off, kind of thing. So
Zozo says, anybody accumulate the missing letters and the errors? Maybe there's a message. In other words, there's a code in the article. Look for acrostics, everybody.
I think we're wasting our time with it. We should
Yeah,
be concentrating
that's
with the
funny.
flow of the chase, but
That's kind of funny.
Well,
the,
and
the editor's the little girl from Asia.
Mike, some comments you just should not read.
Leeka Lee. That's funny.
Okay. Okay, so we were going to give out the other race for it.
Oh, Proxy? Okay, here's a video. Yeah, hang on. Here we go. So this is...
Now, I will say, this did not go well. The first one was at Oho, and it was gone. Copper Dan.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
The second one was at
Rumbaugh Creek.
And under a random rock well off the beaten path, and someone actually took a video and moved it, and it was not there.
Maybe a bear is eating it. I don't know.
It's, you know what it are.
I know. It was beef jerky, right? In a bag? No. No.
And so now we are on our last.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this one's gone. Something's gone. Something's crazy. So
you know how frustrating it was to be in Hoho Caliente when you announced it. It's like,
yeah.
And I was 10 miles away. We go in there. We tore the place apart practically. We almost disturbed the grave. I won't go into that, but anyways, I can't.
Yeah, several people did because of the poll. I didn't realize the number of polls for the grave. Several people were like, "So do we have to touch the grave?" And I'm like, "No, don't touch the grave."
I'm like picking through the flowers and looking for something.
Yeah,
Christy, I can't believe you did this.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't do something like that. There will be more proxy items with the clues and all that, but a little bit later, probably in the year. We need to really focus on this grand adventure.
Well, and Tom Sawyer, we put out proxy items. We don't actually put out the coin, so people will need to buy us, and that's why we think we're going to know when they disappear. But okay, go ahead, Michael.
Okay, this is where? Is it Firehole Falls? Remember the actual place where we're at? Yeah, what's the big waterfall in Yellowstone? Firehole something.
The big waterfall is or just the
big one on the way out to Oho. Is it Firehole? Yeah, Firehole.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Firehole. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll see if anybody wants to go check it out. Let us know if it's there or not. You guys won't see this, so I'm not sharing it. You'll see it in the delay, but here we go. Okay, where are we at? Play, for God's sakes. All right, hang on. There we go.
And it's just...
It's right there, guys. It's you should be able to find that in Yellowstone, right? It's right there. So those, and then right there's the parking lot. So if you go to that famous waterfall, come up this trail, it's right there under that stuff right there. Oh my gosh. Now watch, that one's gone too. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
I like how there's a log right across the path, and it's like, just leave it.
Yeah.
Okay, so good luck anybody who wants to head up there, at some point.
Who lives in West?
There's 4 or 5. So I know Jeff went right out to the other one.
Yeah, he may go for this one. This is going to be for coin 34, everybody. 2019 searcher coin number 34.
So I left a coin in Trapper
Creek.
Creek.
Coming down. We were going to do videos and stuff, and we just didn't. So we were.
What's that, Dan?
I left a coin in Trapper Creek, and
William Ortiz was looking for it with a metal detector.
Yeah, I know, and
big time.
And so I wonder if someone just random person grabbed it. I hope they did. I really do. Maybe they'll get involved in the chase,
and they might find you, through your YouTube channel and Facebook group. Like they're doing searching Forrest Fenn. Wouldn't that be cool? As if they're like, hey, and then I found you and found that you hit it. Cool. That would really be cool.
Yeah. So now you know where that is, and if any of you find it, and there's a code on a little
code.
And so just email Mike or I, and hopefully one of the 3 actually gets found.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody. It didn't go as we planned, but there was so much. We didn't have enough time when we were up there for Function in the Junction Function in the Junction just trying to get it done.
Yeah.
But Debbie, they didn't contact us, so that's the fun part. Is whoever did find those, they never contacted us, so we'll give those coins away another way.
We don't think it's going to be a search. We don't think it was a searcher that had done that.
Yeah, it's a non-searcher. But what I say, 34, because 33 is going in. Somebody is gonna, some lucky person that orders Chase-opoly by Veterans Day, they're gonna get coin 33, and we're gonna give away coin 8, Ocho, and then coin, what's the other one? 22, right?
22.
His birthday, yeah.
22.
When's Forrest's birthday?
No, it was 30. 8/22/30.
Yeah, that's what I said. Coin 30, coin 8, and coin 22.
33.
You said 33.
Oh, did I? All right. It's a clue, everybody. 8, 22, and 30. So if you order, we randomly pick those 3 people, and then you'll just get it in the mail. So it'll be a surprise. Yeah. And then the other numbered ones, we'll figure out what we're going to do with them.
So it was a year ago right now that I got extremely addicted on that you could go on eBay and there was like 15 coins for sale. And
how many coins do you still own, Dan? You want to say? I mean, is it more than 25?
No, at one time I had 15, but I started giving them away as
right.
Well, I sold some to another searcher. I think you know who she is.
Yeah. There was some wheeling and dealing going on.
There's some wheeling and dealing going on. And now that I know what her number is, so I try to buy the coins that end in 9 before she can, because then I can.
So numbered 2019 coin number 9 would probably be a big deal then.
A little bit.
All right. Well, we'll see. Never know. We got things to give away at the World Series of Fenn. We got Chase-opoly, the Grand Adventure. You never know where that coin might pop up. So we'll see. Yeah.
Make sure Copper Dan gets it before she does.
That's funny.
Yeah. And Zozo Rocks has actually said this many times. Looking for 999. I know you reached out to whoever.
Yeah, I know who has 999, and they are never going to let it go. So. Yeah.
You never know. You never say never.
I've reached out and they said no. At this time, they have no interest. So
if someone wants to sell coin number 17, copper coin number 17.
Oh, cool.
Give me a call.
Yeah. Okay.
MEH says a 2020 coin. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but never say never. You just never know.
We got to finish this one.
Yeah, Chase-opoly is our project at the moment. So.
Do you see Jay Street said, is that Forrest pointing to Cape Road? See, he's
he's pointing at the lead searcher. He's pointing right at you.
Can you take this and you see which state exactly we're not going to see which state. There's some directional, and I'm just saying there's a hunt in there.
Is he pointing at Colorado? I can't tell. Or he's pointing right at Montana, isn't he? Good stuff.
There's some fun to be had, and so there's some things embedded in something. There's some you will see, and the cool part about it, if you know the different searchers, I am Kitchitsy Kevin, and Mike is Codebreaker Charlie. We are putting a hunt together with both of those things in mind. I am not up for advanced ciphers, and neither is this hunt going to be, but there will be some code-like things that he'll bring in, and then I get too imaginative. He's like, "What the heck is that even?"
That's why I have trouble with Jenny's gold medallion, Jenny and Dale's.
Yeah,
they're all ciphers.
Yeah.
And not that I couldn't figure it out, but there are certain searchers out there that are so fast with ciphers that it's I'm kind of glad they're starting to get hid west.
Right. Yes, and there'll be more that are and I still got to make a video on my map that I set up for where they've been found for ours anyway, for the 2019 coin. So
are you going to try to get all the 19s out for the end of the year, or
definitely before the end? If we get all the silver non-numbered ones, we're only down to like the last 10 or so for the pre-orders, because they're going with all the pre-orders of Chase-opoly.
Yeah.
But there's the numbered ones. It's going to depend on. I do believe there will be a numbered one, at least one, at the World Series of Fenn
as a prize. Yeah.
Prize pool. So there'll definitely be some by next February still there, but we're devising a new plan for some of those. So it won't all be hunts. There's going to be some other things that we always brainstorm for a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of ideas.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I didn't think we were all ready to announce the hunt part, but
and if you guys haven't figured it out yet, when you get your Chase-opoly board game in the mail, the treasure hunt's going to be in the box.
Michael!
What? It's true. Unless we change that. We'll see. We're coming up with some different ideas.
We're still in production. We don't have them in our hand yet.
I know.
That won't happen. Let's just say that. Who can keep a secret? Ah, my goodness. Okay.
Well, I'm glad
okay.
you guys put all these fun things on because they make the chase fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to
I
do.
mean-
So thanks. Yeah. And
Yeah.
especially when it'll be the off season, we hope everybody will get their game in December. You know, that's the off season, and you have something to work on.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll be a lot
And
of
Las
fun.
Vegas AC dude, I don't know if you're in Las Vegas, but we're having a searcher meetup.
He
Speaking of
is.
fun.
Yeah.
So in case you are around and available a week from Saturday. So that's our next one is that. And then we have rescheduled the marathon date. So mark your calendars. We're sorry for we did have to change some stuff around, but the new date is September 28th
Oh, that's
from
right, for the marathon.
midnight treasure hunting time. So
I'm gonna do my hour on bug spray.
A lot of bugs out there.
I told Joel, I said, because I was out there just before, like 2 weeks before he went, and I said, bring the good stuff.
yeah.
Forgot, and he called me from where he was at in the woods, and he said, "Oh my God, I forgot my bug spray."
Yeah.
And his water. What else did he? He was so excited to go. Oh man, I get that.
Yeah.
But
and they camped out the whole time. Yeah. Like high level
searching in Colorado, bring your bug spray.
Yeah, because Colorado has the worst bugs.
Oh my gosh. Do you think northern Minnesota has mosquitoes? This is
come down to the south. Oh my gosh, it's here. So and hey, I still have electricity, so I'm happy.
Hey,
I don't think
Christy, I thought you should put a big fan to blowing across when you did the whole hour. Like it's getting really bad out there.
Spray. They have the spray bottle.
Yeah.
I did think I actually had more issues last night because they were like preparing for the storm of the century, and then I had some internet problems last night. I mean, knock on wood, we have the candles, everything ready, but we're 2 hours off the coast, and it's really straddling the coast, so it looks like we kind of
just be glad we're not in Bermuda,
Bahamas. Yeah.
Bahamas.
That's where we were, Christy. That's right where we were. Coco Cay, the island. They say they're going to reopen it. They put up a date when they're going to reopen it, but they said it had some damage to it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Yeah. Gosh, and like Forrest with us on that cruise, that could have been bad. Forrest got home and safe, and he's good. Some people were saying like they heard that Forrest went with us on the cruise.
Oh, jeez.
I just think it's hilarious how rumors start. It's like you can't even make that stuff up. It's so silly. So yes.
Well, I know he wasn't with you on the cruise because he was up with Joel.
Nice.
Yeah, he was probably sitting with Ramblin' Pam and Nelica having a good old time. I don't know if that was that weekend or not. So anyway, okay. Any other announcements, Michael?
I think we covered most of them. Yeah, K-Pro will be in Vegas next weekend, so we're going to do the meetup, so that'll be a lot of fun. And we will make a video and show everybody the board game. We hope it's as awesome as we tried to design it to be, but it'll be fun to actually have a hands-on. And then, details on this grand adventure will be forthcoming. You guys will have all the info before the game comes out and delivered. So,
it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, Dan, you got anything signing off? Somebody else asked, can you do like from a painting? Can you make a piece and all that? So I don't know. I guess have them email you.
Yeah, it's because I'm not actually using a paintbrush. We're using a torch and a grinder, so we can only get certain colors. So,
but are you open for commission if somebody has an idea of something?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, good.
Email me copperdan17@gmail.com, and we'll, I'll look at anything.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
AJ come up to me at the World Series of Fenn, and he says, "Can you do a bridge?" And I went,
"That's right."
He goes, "And I'll give you this coin." And I didn't I'm like, I didn't even know if we could, but I'm like, coin, yes, absolutely.
And do you still have the gold medallion?
I will never.
That's cool.
I have never. Technically, they're not numbered, but
right
on the first one, and I have the documentation of that.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to build my own frame map that's gonna go in. And,
oh, awesome. Okay.
I mean, just sitting in my safe doesn't do any good.
Right.
You were asked by someone in the room, what do you think it's Tom Sawyer? What do you think it's going to take for the test to be found?
It's going to take somebody to solve the 9 clues, but more importantly, it's going to take somebody to figure out the correct where warm waters halt. I really believe Forrest when he says that's the hardest one to figure out. And I think the 99% of people have the wrong where warm waters halt. So that's what it's going to take. I mean, I could say imagination, but basically, I think it's the warm waters halt is the hardest part that everybody's got wrong for some reason.
You need to learn how to find the answers to the clues.
Right.
And I'll just say that and no more.
So 3D Bronze says, Copper Dan, K-Pro, Cowlazars, and we should all do a collaboration. What do you think?
No, I think he was highlighting it for us, and he said Copper Dan and I should do a collaboration. What do you think? That's how
I got you. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I get it. So he's saying you and him because you both work in copper, or he works in bronze, you work in copper. Do something together. That would be interesting for sure.
Yeah. Well, so I'm actually thinking it's not necessarily about the actual clues and the deciphering the poem, because I think 1 million people have done, or 300,000 people have done it 100,000 different ways. I think there's something we're all missing until somebody cracks that. I think it could be years. I think at the beginning of the season, I think like all the tubers, I think it was one of the roundtables, is it going to be found this year? And everyone said yes. And I know I was like one of the rare. I was like, no, it's not. Like, I don't think we're near that part yet. And I think we're getting to year 10, so people are starting to see it's not going to be found quick. So what is it? But I do think I think some press releases or some videos or documentaries or whatever, I think there's going to be some key things said from Forrest that's going to make us talk about it. I don't know if there'll be any there, or if it's not really going to be anything exciting, but I think we're going to talk a lot about it this off season.
I hope so. That'd give us all something to discuss. Now, a lot of people are saying WWWH is not the hard part. The home of Brown is the hard part. So a lot of people think they have the right where warm waters halt. It's going along the canyon to find the right home of Brown is the real hard part. And that could be. I mean,
But he says they get progressively easier, and WWWH was the hardest. So if you got in WWWH, it should be a piece of cake, right?
Right. Well, 3D Bronze says, Copper Dan, are there 11 clues now, including the 2 parking spot clues? I mean, according to Douglas Preston, Forrest said the final clue would be where I park my car. But is that a real clue to find I don't know how it would be.
I think those are all hints.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Copper.
Yeah. We kind of talked about that, I think, a couple of shows before. I'm like, well, if he parked his car there, could he have got, how far is it to the airport? And I think don't complicate this with 11. Stick with the 9.
Right. I think there's still 9 clues. I just think there's lots of hints, and the hints, could it be the location we know that he's donated to the Northern Arizona University. We know that he has family that ran the museum. Maybe he's donated to the museum. I think there's something there that we haven't figured out, but I don't think it's the actual parking lot or parking space or any of that. I think it's a hint. So hello, Steve.
Forrest has been a part of so many things with, Cody and he's been, that it's, you find out this stuff and it's just a big, rabbit hole.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, but one man's rabbit hole is another man's soul, or vice versa. I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, we're running on an hour and a half. What do you guys think? You want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
We need to wrap it up. I got to work. My kids are off school, but I still have to work, which is amazing.
And actually, I got to go into work early tomorrow too. So,
nice.
All right. Well, everybody have a great weekend. And yeah, we will see you again next week. We hope to see whoever can make it for the Searcher meetup here in Vegas. And any parting words, Dan?
No, just the standard stuff. You can find me Forrest Fenn Marvel Gaze on Facebook. I do have a YouTube channel that occasionally I will post a video.
Okay. And I'll just remind people to thumbs up the video and please subscribe. There have been some new people that have subscribed, but I think I really need to make a video on how to subscribe to YouTube. So maybe some people don't know. But yeah, and you will, if you subscribe, you will know when we go live to get details on the Grand Adventure. So that should be fun in the upcoming months.
And next week we have a show on Monday, but no show on Thursday, but we will probably go live from the Searcher meetup for anybody who wants to be a part of that.
Or over the weekend. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I'll actually be on the plane for the Thursday.
Maybe I'll just go live by myself.
You, I say
Yeah,
that
I probably won't though.
I say that all the time. You're like, no, I'll go do video games. I'm like, that's fine, but you can go
Mike,
live by yourself.
Mike, I think you need to make an old school video, like the old.
Oh, the old vlog? Yeah, that's true.
Vlogs.
Yeah, I should. It's all about time at this point. But yeah, for sure. I should get back to that. All right,
Yeah.
everybody. Okay, thanks for tuning in. And again, we will see you next week.
Night all.
Bye, everybody.
For coming.